We have to have a discussion. Halliburton brings it up in that thumbnail, right? Of anybody is allowed to go on TV and say anything they want about our game. He means the NBA. He then says in the next slide, I didn't really want to fit on the thumbnail. He then says that it's just a popular thing to hate the NBA. And I've noticed this. Now that I have really been making videos, going to games, all this about the NBA for the past 3 years, I have noticed a discourse that is honestly just funny. I obviously watch one of the most fun teams in basketball, the Indiana Pacers. They've been one of the most fun for the last 3 years. If you're a fan of one of the most fun teams, the Knicks, the Thunder, the Cavs, any of these good, fun, young teams, I am sure that you are confused as well of what this NBA discourse is. They shoot too much threes. They have too much attitude. They don't play games. I would like to ask you to pause and re-look at the thumbnail and remember who just made this claim. Yes, Tyrese Halliburton, the man who, despite if he scored 6 and 0 and 2 and whatever here and there, he has played every single game except one this year. Every game except one. He had a lingering issue right after All-Star break last year, but continued to play for his team because he wanted to make the playoffs, and then continued to play injured in the playoffs up until he could not any longer in the Eastern Conference Finals, Game 3, Game 4. Those were the only two, okay? He played every other playoff game. Look, not only him, many players are like Halliburton. The issue is not the fans' fault. I claimed it was the fans' fault a while ago. I've realized something in the past week, guys. The media has brainwashed these fans, even ones in my own fan base. I heard someone call the Pacers mediocre, a Pacers fan, quote unquote. Is he stuck in 2017? Pacers have been mediocre for the last 2 years. Right, but we don't get shown on TV. And around here, locally, we never get shown on TV. That was the whole thing I did on my Instagram thing of turn your TV on. Because I'm like, watch the games, please. Not enough people watch the games around here. We are on FanDuel Sports TV every freaking day. We're never on ESPN, TNT, any of that. Now, I know we don't perform, but if we were given more opportunity, it'd be different. And I'm not just talking about the Pacers. There are small market teams with small market players who play every day. So if your biggest issue is these guys don't play, they're divas, they're whatever, put the teams on TV who aren't like this. Instead, you put the same old every day. And this has been an issue since the early 2000s. They used to put on Allen Houston versus Alonzo Mourning. Knicks Heat. I don't actually know if that was Alonzo Mourning time, but it was Allen Houston. Anyway, those teams were not the greatest. They would not show KG in the Timberwolves. They would not show Allen Iverson in the 76ers. And right now I'm starting to feel the same. They don't show the Magic and Paolo and Franz Wagner. They don't show the Pacers with Siakam and Halliburton, right? Hell, you got to force them to show the Cavs. It's ridiculous. The reason that the NBA is hated on by the media is because the media tends to focus on the wrong teams. Imagine, for example, if in the NFL, we would have just focused on the Jets continually, and instead of taking them off of primetime, we would have had them play a Week 13, Week 15, Week 16, Week 17 primetime game. The whole world would be pissed. But they have an ability late season to take primetime games away and give them to other teams, which is perfect. Colts-Jets shouldn't have been a primetime game. Was it a great game where AR comes back and everything? Sure, but it shouldn't have been primetime. And there's a lot of NBA games that shouldn't be primetime either. The 76ers, with how they play right now, should not be on primetime TV. They are awful, but they're getting more primetime games than the Pacers. It's ridiculous. The reason that the NBA is bad in the media's eyes is the media's fault. Don't get mad that the house is burning when you started burning it down. Thanks for watching. Affleck Times out here.